Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. Good morning, it's 7 o'clock on Saturday the 6th of March. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, never quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land. It's a bit of a cool and grey morning this morning, but thankfully it's not raining. So that's a bit of a bonus. I really don't want any rain this weekend. I am keen to get on with a little bit of construction type work. I don't know if you can see here on the trees, but we've got some nice buds coming through, which is a nice sign of spring starting to arrive. Bit of a surprise on the chicken coop construction front for you today. I'll show you that shortly, but for now I'm going to get myself down, get opened up, and we'll see what we can get done today. I've just opened up the cabin and I'm just ready to boil the kettle for a cup of coffee. It is cool this morning, but I just wanted to show you something first. We've got the makings of the chicken coop. I'd like to say that I've been down every night after work fabricating these, but the truth is I haven't. I've actually bought a second-hand. It was actually a pigeon coop, but it is in very good condition. All it really needs is a little bit of alteration work for nesting boxes, and painting, of course. So we just walk around the front so you can see the rest of it. So this is going to save me an awful lot of work fabricating the coop. So that's a side panel, that's a back panel, floor and roof. So everything's here. I just need to modify it slightly. I've got this for nesting boxes, so I just need to adjust that slightly. But fingers crossed, it'll all go together pretty damn quickly. And I'm hoping that I've booked a day off work next week. I'm hoping that next week I can get it all assembled. So today really it's a case of painting, figuring out how to do the modifications, and I guess more importantly figuring out where to put the foundation blocks, and I'm kind of erring towards here. Lots of different comments in the comment section on previous videos. It was a 50-50 split. It's now moved slightly in favour of where I'm looking now at the rear of the cabin here, which is actually flatter ground than it is over there. There's quite a slope on that by the tree line. So in terms of getting the foundation blocks in, this would be the easier option. So I'm going to get the kettle on, get a coffee made, have a little think for 5 minutes, and then I'll pull some blocks out and start laying out and figuring out where it needs to go. I do of course need to fabricate the actual run, or the pen that the chickens will be outside in. I've got all the timber for that in the cabin already, so once I've got the foundation blocks down I can then work out where the pen is going to go, and you never know, maybe even start fabricating that. But for now, get myself in the cabin, get a cup of coffee down me, and we'll keep you up with progress as we go. Well, the kettle's on to boil, so I'll quickly run round the garden room. Temperature this morning's not great. It's just hovering over 5 degrees. No sign of life at all with the potatoes and the carrots. which is a bit disappointing, I have to say, because I was hoping that this weekend we might see some signs of life. So a little bit disappointing. Let's pop open this raised bed and let's see what we've got going on in here. Those marigolds coming on quite well now. Some nice steady growth in there. This was true potato seeds, I think. I'm not expecting anything in here because they've literally just gone in last weekend, so no big surprise there. This one is peas. Still only one shoot coming through there, but it is a strong shoot, so fingers crossed we'll get some more of those germinating. And this one, I can't remember what this one is. I think this is cabbage. Let me just have a little look on the tag. Yeah, that's cabbage. So we've got a couple of shoots coming through there. Still very early. And the last one is cauliflower. And we've got 1, 2, 3 through in that one. So not too bad at all, really. It is still very, very early, and I am surprised that these have come through given the temperatures. While we're here, we may as well have a quick run outside to the polytunnel and take a look at those Swedes that I transplanted last weekend. So much wood lying around. Trees are coming on well now. We've got proper leaves showing through rather than just buds. Let me just look at these Swedes. They're doing better than I expected, to be honest. There's been a couple of casualties over here. There's 2 pots there with nothing. Oh, there is. It's still there. I apologise. 1 pot that seems to be struggling. And I think, to be fair, I think the green shoot is still there. Hard for you to see, I'm guessing, but there by my finger. As is that one. So you never know. Well, that's looking a bit sad. But they're still hanging in, which is a surprise. I did honestly expect them to not survive because they were so leggy. But look at these trees. Look at that. Proper leaves coming out of those now. That's the conference pear. This cherry, I was a bit debatable whether this would survive, but it looks like you've got buds leafing there and there. Well, in fact, pretty much everywhere on these top stems. So that might just be okay. This Golden Delicious, again, we've got leaves budding. Not an awful lot on this, to be fair. They're still closed up, the majority of them. So who knows, this might be the one that doesn't that doesn't survive. And this Jonagold apple, again, some nice leaf growth on there. Not as much as the other trees, I have to say, but the buds are there. So hopefully that's just a bit of a slow starter and it will come on. So all in all, quite pleased with progress with those. Got to do something with these strawberries. There are millions of them. I need to make a raised bed for those, but it's time. There's always something else and it is easy to get distracted. Blueberry bush, that's going crazy now with buds. There's lots and lots of buds on that opening up. The younger one, not so much. There are buds there, but they're closed still. They're not coming through. And the fig's definitely got some nice quite healthy looking buds on there. So that's the planting. I'm itching to get on with painting up this chicken coop and doing the modifications. I'm in two minds as to what to do first, whether to paint or to put down the foundation slabs. Looking at the sky, it is a bit grey looking, and I suspect we might get a bit of rain today. So although I am keen to get the foundation laid out, even if it's just a rough fit, I think the paint pot's going to have to come out and get it painted before this rain comes. But first things first, let me get a cup of coffee. My fingers are a bit cool out here. I've just been shuffling some of that wood around, so it is a bit cool. We'll get the coffee on, and then we'll get the paint pots out, I think. Well, good morning. It's a bit of a cool morning out there today. That lovely warm weather we had last weekend hasn't lasted, so I'll be hugging the coffee cup a little bit this morning. It's not worth putting the fire on today. All of the work really is outside on that chicken coop, so we'll come to that in a moment. But I hope you're all doing well wherever you are and bearing up. Spring is almost here, looking at the trees, so a little bit of encouragement there to get out and get planting if you haven't already started. Quite a few comments actually on the last couple of videos about planting, and it seems that quite a few people have got started. Quite a few people have got those heated mats under the trays. I wish I had some in here, but I haven't. Who knows, in future years, if I can get the power supply ramped up on the cabin, I might have enough spare power to run those. But they are quite a power draw on a 12-volt system, so I don't know, we'll see, I guess, how we progress during the year. But in the garden room, as you saw earlier, I have got seeds germinated, so that is nice and encouraging. A little bit disappointing the potatoes and carrots haven't come through yet, but it is only the first week in March, so I guess I shouldn't be too disappointed. Lots going on in the big wide world. All the talk here in the UK really is about the number of vaccinations people have had. We're at over 20 million now, which is, I don't know, getting on for a quarter, maybe over a quarter of the population. And lots of talk about vaccination passports or certificates, whatever you want to call it. I'm trying not to focus on that, really. I don't plan on going anywhere outside the UK this year, so there's no great urgency for me to even think about passports, COVID or otherwise. I guess I'll just see how it pans out during the rest of the year. The bigger thing on my mind really is the economy. We had our budget here in the UK, biggest tax hike in decades, and I think more to come. The main focus really was on taxing business rather than individuals, and I know that's not going to last, so watch this space, I guess, as we go through the year. One thing I did want to touch on, and I touch on this quite regularly, is food. Don't know if you've been paying attention to the news media. It's not mainstream news, but the regular outlets are really focused on COVID and the economy, and relaxing of the lockdown rules. But as you kind of search around the non-mainstream media, and particularly on YouTube, lots of conversations about commodity prices going through the roof due to shortages in supply, things like grains and beans and in some cases meats. So I'm just wondering how long it's going to be before that starts filtering through into the normal supply chain. I can't in all honesty say that I've seen any big difference in price over the last few months. But one thing I have noticed is the quality and availability of fresh vegetables. Potatoes in particularly, can't get my words out, potatoes in particular this year here in the UK, in the supermarkets, are pretty poor quality, I have to say. They're sprouting within a couple of days of getting them home, and the skin on the potatoes is particularly dark brown, which is not usual, and lots of signs of damage and things like skin scab. So the quality of the fresh vegetables isn't particularly great. I'm just wondering whether that's because there's been issues with early plantings, and we're using a lot more of the older main crop supply from last year. Don't really know what the reason is, and to be honest, this year I don't think I'll be particularly worried. The objective, if you remember from previous videos this year, is to try and do an experiment to see if I can actually manage to get regular plantings and harvestings of the main vegetables that I eat, and see what it actually takes to get a year's supply. Hence the reason for me starting so early this year. I really did want to get stuff in the ground, or at least in trays, at the earliest possible time, to see how quickly I can get them to grow to harvest. So fingers crossed for that this year, but it would be useful if there is going to be an issue with normal supply chain or the quality of what's in the shops. It would be nice to be able to just pick my own and not have to depend on the shops. So we'll see, as we go through the year, and you'll see if you follow our journey on the videos that I put out. So not a great deal in cabin chat today, and I suspect not a great deal in terms of video production, because it is going to be an awful lot of painting and hopefully a bit of foundation laying. But whatever it is I do get up to, I will share it with you as we go through the day. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe, and hopefully things are going well for you. I noticed in a little video clip that someone sent me yesterday that Texas in the US seems to be getting back to normal, and indeed the video I was looking at yesterday, some wonderful weather. I was really quite envious. People have got tomatoes fruiting in polytunnels in Texas already. That's pretty amazing, but their weather is a lot different to what we have here. They have actually got back to their normal sunshine, so well done there. I'm going to get this coffee down me, see what we can get done today, and I'll catch up with you in little video clips as we go through the day. Well, we're outside, and it is cool, but it looks promising. There's a little bit of sunshine peeking out behind those trees. So hopefully as the day wears on, it'll warm up a little bit. One quick thing before I go on to the painting. This raised bed, I don't know why, because the others are not been touched at all, but for some reason this raised bed, it's just been mass attacked. You can see the holes in the netting, and the amount of digging that's been going on in this bed, it's just unbelievable. And I don't know why. What is the big attraction? It's just been totally destroyed. They've had to go at this bed as well, which I'm not too fussed about, but what is it that's the big attraction with this? I just don't know. Anyway, lots and lots of wood to paint. I've got the floor, that's the back, that's a side panel, that's the roof, I've just got propped up. The others around the back of the cabin. So, bit of a change to the normal routine. We're going for this fetching brown colour. I don't know what it's called. Chestnut brown it's called. I managed to get 2 tubs of that. I have still got some green left in the polytunnel, but I figured if I did that brown, then it would kind of blend in with the cabin. So yeah, let's get cracking with that, because I have a feeling this is going to take a long time, but I'll keep you posted with progress as we go along. Well, that's 3 sections done. It's taken a bit longer than expected, but it always does. So it's not looking too bad now. It will want a second coat. Not so much bothered about the floor, because I think I'm going to put another ply sheet over that once it's been constructed, because that OSB over time will rot quite quickly. So I'll probably ply over that. But the back section and this side section, that first coat's not taken too badly actually, considering, but I will give it a second coat. But I've got 2 more sections to do, which, because I didn't have the space, they're around the back here. So I'll get those lifted up onto some blocks just to get them off the ground, and I'll get cracking with those. Well, that's the last 2 panels done. So all of them have got a first coat on, and to be fair, they're not looking too bad. They will need a second coat, but it gives me a good excuse to have a coffee and wait for it to dry so I can put the second coat on. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll just have a quick look while that kettle's boiling. And to be fair, even though we don't have much heat or sun, it is dry. Yeah, so that's good news. By the time I've had my coffee, I can start with the second coat, just to really wear myself out. Well, it's gone 11 o'clock already. I honestly don't know where the time goes to. It feels like I've been here 5 minutes, but in reality, I've been here for 4 hours. So what do you think of the chicken coop? Bit cheeky of me, cheating. But in all honesty, for the price that I paid it was a pigeon coop, or loft as we call them here in the UK. For the price I paid for it, I'd have spent way more in timber, and it is in good condition. So with a couple of coats of the wood preserving paint on, I should get a fair few years out of it. Still got the construction of the outdoor pen to think about, but looking at the weather, I'm just a bit nervous that we might get a bit of rain, so I'm trying to push on as quick as I can, getting it all painted up, and then hopefully on Thursday it'll get erected and it'll be weatherproof. So we'll see how the time goes today. If I've got time, I'll start playing with the foundations, work out the final position for where it's going to go, and think about the layout of the pen. But as with everything, it just takes so much time. What might seem like a simple quick job, throw some paint on, it isn't a quick job at all. So I'm going to get this coffee down me, warm my fingers up a little bit. I've got a bag of crisps or potato chips because I'm not getting any lunch today, and we'll see what else we can get done. I'll come back to you shortly. Well, that's the second coat on, thank God. It's taken forever, but it's finally done, so I can leave that to dry now. Hopefully it won't rain today, and it'll be good to go Thursday when I try to assemble it all. I've just been reconfiguring this, what will be a nesting box. It's taken ages. It's gone 1 o'clock already. Don't know where the day is going. Trying to dismantle everything and figure out how it's going to work. The front was covered on the top here by this this wire, which stops these doors from opening. So I've just had to rip that off, which was a bit of a chew. It's certainly been well constructed. You can see how many staples there were along here holding that chicken wire down. It's been a bit of a pain, but anyway, it's off. I'll have a quick look at the hinges for the top ones. Bottom ones are fine, hinges on the outside, so they're okay. I just need to do the same with the top one and figure out how it's going to close. And of course it's going to want painting. It will want some more internal support struts in, but I think I'll get it painted first, and at least then it's going to be weatherproof. Taking off one of those windows. For some reason these opened inwards, but actually they were unable to open because the chicken wire was fastened across the front, so they weren't actually opening windows, which is a bit odd, but hey. So I've just whipped this one out. I'm just test fitting the hinges onto the front, same as they are on the bottom one there, and then I'll just mount these under this roof line, temporary fix, make sure it works, and then final fix it. So fingers crossed. Well, that's the first one in. By way of example, this one, for some reason, originally is designed to open inwards, which we don't want, whereas this one now opens outwards, which we do want. So I'll get that one swapped out and then get some paint on it. It'll soon be time to go home. Well, that's both those top windows reconfigured, so they open outwards now. So let's get some paint on before this rain comes. Well, that's the outside painted and the windows done. I'm actually not going to bother painting these windows. It's a bit difficult because they're covered in a plastic sheet, so I'd never be able to paint the whole wood. But I've got what I wanted done. I haven't got time today, but I need to figure out how I'm going to partition it off inside to make the individual nest boxes. But with this on the back of the chicken coop, I'll be able to just open up and look for eggs without having to go inside the coop itself. So that's the theory anyway. Time is whizzing by and it's starting to get dark now. I'm hoping that we don't get that rain, just to give these panels a chance to dry out. They are pretty much dry. I might try and lean them up against the cabin wall. I don't know, they're a bit heavy to lift on my own. I'll have a little play and see, but I need to get tidied up because it is almost time to go. Well, it's 3 o'clock already. I can't believe where the time's gone. I have tried stacking these against the cabin, but they're just too tall, and I'm just a bit nervous about breaking the gutter in or cracking a plastic sheet. So fingers crossed we don't get rain tonight, and they've got a few hours to dry out before it gets dark, so hopefully they'll be okay. At least they have got paint on them, which is the main thing, as has everything else. That'll be another bit of a project tomorrow, trying to figure out how to divide up nest boxes and maybe get some cladding on the sides. I'll have to have a little think about that, because I'm not entirely sure how it fits into the back. Again, I tried stacking these, but they're just hitting the guttering on the roof line, so I've managed to kill myself wrestling those into a pile just to protect the surfaces. That one's going to have to take its chances, I'm afraid. So that's it for today. No doubt there'll be some more progress tomorrow. It doesn't seem like I've done much apart from paint, but as always, any progress is good progress. So I'm off home to get a shower and something to eat, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. What do you think about the chicken coop? Bit of a surprise that I actually managed to find one at a very good price that was already assembled, and all it needs is a bit of tinkering, and it should be up fairly quickly. Certainly saved me a lot of heartache trying to build it from scratch. Any tips for me when I'm doing the construction part, do let me know in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.